With a new map to the update, added in 3 new jets, and 2 of them you can buy right here for 24,000 piggy coins. As you can see, I've got enough to buy both of them if I was to use admin and then just kind of swap over, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing in this video, so that we can test out both in one video and answer the question, are any of these two actually worth a grind? Let's see. As you can see, I've already activated cheats, so everything I do in this video will not save, but that will allow me to go ahead and check out both of these. Starting off with the X10, which is actually the cheaper one, and out of the two, by far the better looking one. This one is 10,550 cash, which is a lot, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and buy it for the first time, and there we go. I have now lost 10,000 coins, but I have the X10, and here it is. I love the look of this vehicle. It kind of looks like the Heat Seeker a little bit. Okay, now I've spawned the Heat Seeker. It looks absolutely nothing like it. It's similar. It's the same similar style, but it's really not the same like at all. So now I'm about to drive this thing for the very first time. I don't even know how this works. Obviously they added the whole advanced plane physics thing. Alright, so I've taken off, and for some reason I'm quite zoomed in. There we go. We're off. Yep, this is not normal plane physics, I don't think. So when I look around and I move my mouse, it seems like the plane actually kind of tilts, and you can kind of control it this way. It's kind of weird though. And obviously you can control where you're going using the actual WASD, but you can also use the mouse to kind of control it, which is kind of weird. You could do things like this and do like loops. It's really cool actually. I can't control it at all, but this is sick. It's also got boost as well. Oh, and we're off. It's got boost. It's got boost. Not that much boost though, but it does kind of regenerate just like that in the middle of the air, which is really, really good. As for its speed, it doesn't go too fast. Like the Hyperglider, the P1G1 is actually faster than this, I'm pretty sure. You would have thought that this would be faster than the P1G1 because it's like more than double the amount of piggy coins, but I guess it is what it is. Pretty sure this thing has missiles or something, so if I just go ahead and click, I'm holding down click, and it's got lasers, which is sick. I don't think any other vehicle in this game actually shoots out lasers. I think this is a first. I also don't think it's got a cooldown because I'm still clicking, still holding it, and it's still going. We have infinite lasers here. I've got no idea how much damage they do, but I've got a feeling it's going to be really hard to test that out because I can't control this thing like at all. Yep, straight into them all. There we go. This is obviously the advanced plane physics. I don't know if you can actually use this with the basic physics. I don't think you can. If I go into settings, you can actually see, yeah, I've got the basic plane physics on, and that is not basic, so I think you don't actually have a choice with this vehicle, which I guess is fine because obviously you can just learn it. It's just going to take time to get used to, especially for me, but it is really, really cool how you could do all of this. As for damage, there is literally a meteor here, and I want to see how much damage I can do to this. Okay, I didn't see what actually came up there, but that was pretty quick. Right, here we go. I'm just going to spam shoot and see what we actually get here. 16. So I think every hit is 16 damage. That's pretty good because obviously you'll be able to kill people pretty quickly if you're actually good at aiming. If I also run it into this and then just shoot, we can see how much damage it does to itself here. Alright, so yeah, it seems like every hit I do is 24 damage. So it's 24 damage to a vehicle, and then 16 damage to a player every hit, which is pretty good. Again, it's probably going to be really impossible to actually kill anyone with this because of how hard it kind of is to control, but it's really cool. The design's great. The speed's not that good, but it's also really, really fun to actually just drive around. The weapons are cool. I think this is worth 10,000. I think anything over like 10,000 would have been, okay, maybe a little bit too much, but I definitely think out of the two vehicles, this one so far is actually worth it. Okay, so I've gone ahead, rejoined the game, put cheats on once more, so again, whatever I do now is not going to save. As you can see, I'm back to the 14,860 that I had before, and now I'm going to buy the Blackout to see how this thing is. I can't lie, this does literally just look like an upgraded version of the Raider Z. I don't know if it's going to be any better. It hopefully will be because it's like 3 times the amount. There it is, the thing that's 13.5 thousand piggy coins. Is it worth it? I don't know. As you can see, it works quite literally just like every other vehicle in the game. This one doesn't have advanced mode on it, or it doesn't at least come with it, so at least I'm able to actually fly this thing. Obviously you can go up and down, you got all the normal controls. R actually makes it go invisible, kind of. Who actually is gonna think this is invisible? Oh, never mind, it's completely disappeared. You can't stealth yet, you must wait 18 seconds. So there's like a 20-second cooldown for this. Oh, so it does, okay, it does go completely invisible. I was gonna say, because if it was to just stay like it was, everyone's gonna see that from like a mile away. So thank God it actually goes completely invisible. It lasts about like 5-ish seconds, maybe slightly longer, but you do have to wait like 20-ish seconds to redo it again. I mean, I think that's kind of balanced. As for the weapons on this thing, there's two different types. On the front, there's a turret, which we'll get to in a minute, and on the side, there's loads of missiles. For the missiles, you just click, and obviously, off they go. The rate at which you can actually spam these is pretty quick. As you can see, oh, look at this. There is actually kind of like a cooldown though, like none of them are spawning now, and oh, all of a sudden, yep, they're back. Now I can't spawn them, and hold on, wait a minute, and they're back. So it's like there's like a 3-second cooldown until you can start firing them again. You can actually go ahead and fire 12 before it does this cooldown. You could do them individually, or you could just spam them like this, and yep, off they go. For some reason, this thing doesn't actually want to go ahead and do damage to itself, which makes a lot of sense. So I've actually gone ahead and brought in my autogun here. I'm going to be seeing how much these missiles actually do to vehicles. Right, here we go. For some reason it doesn't lock on, but there we go. I think I said 14 damage. The missiles to vehicles does 14 damage per hit, roughly. And then to players, I'm pretty sure it does about 10 per hit, roughly. Now, as you can see, there's also a second seat, which actually lets you activate the turret. So if you have anyone else inside of this vehicle, they can go ahead and sit in the back, and they have access to the turret, which is on the front. As you can see, it moves around as you move the mouse. So I guess we'll start by seeing how much damage it does to a vehicle. Let's just go ahead and start shooting. Alright, so one shot is 30, so every time it shoots the vehicle once, you'll deal 30 damage to the vehicle, as you just saw. See, 30, and then 30 again, 30. So every time you hit a vehicle, it does 30 damage. And as for the player, every time you hit him, it does 10 damage. So again, for the turret, every time you hit a vehicle, it does 30 damage, and every time you hit a player, it does 10 damage. This just seems more like a vehicle you go around in and actually just not use to fight people with, whereas the X10 seems like the kind of fighter jet that you'd use, even though it's quite impossible to actually control. Hopefully this video helps you decide which one of these two is actually better, although you don't have too long, so if I was you, I'd try and get as many piggy coins as possible so you can buy both of them, because obviously they're both limited, so you want to try and get them both as soon as possible. That is it for this video, so hopefully you enjoyed.